300 stands for one thing in bowling: perfection. 12 balls, 12 strikes. The sport's most intense and exciting moment. It has happened 8 times in 36 years on ABC Sports. Today at the Florida Open, the drama will reach a new level as 2 bowlers get a chance to make 300 worth $1 million. From the beautiful convention center on the west coast of Florida, it's a sun-filled afternoon as we present, and proud to present, the Florida Open. And yes, today, our telecast will feature not only 3 stars from the national tour, but we will have 2 champions of the PBA Senior Tour, and this crowd is ready. Our first match pits 2 seniors, with the winner of this contest advancing to the challenge game. Match 2 is our semifinal game, with that winner advancing to the championship game. Should any player in that event roll a 300 game, he will receive a $1 million bonus. The final game is a $25,000 winner-take-all battle between the newly crowned tournament king and the senior winner. So let's meet our 5 finalists. Bowling in the senior roll-off is an 8-time national tour titleist, Gary Dickinson from Edmond, Oklahoma, PBA Hall of Famer. His opponent is a 3-time winner of the national tour who won his first senior title last year, a reigning rookie of the year from Louisville, Texas, Dale Eagle. Bowling in the second match is our 3rd seed, is a former PBA Rookie of the Year, a 22-time titleist from St. Ann, Missouri, Pete Weber. His opponent is another PBA Hall of Famer. He won his 17th title earlier this year. He has a win in each of the last 11 from Atlanta, Brian Voss. And our tournament leader, Parker Bohn III, is after his 3rd title of the year. He leads the tour in earnings and is seeking his 14th career win from Jackson, New Jersey. PB the 3rd. Well, Nelson Burton Jr., the Florida Open has a lot of cash at stake.
You're right, Chris. There's a lot of ways to win it. The first match, the senior winner will take home $7,500, an opportunity to vote for $25,000 in the challenge match, our last match. But the key match is the first place match with $1 million. That's 7 figures available for the champion. Now let's see some of the greatest champions in the world going at it today.
And 2 old friends returning to the action. Gary Dickinson, whom we had on many of the national tour telecasts over the years. He finished 2nd in a 16-game roll-off among the seniors. The top man being Dale Eagle, his opponent. 4-pin, Nelson.
Well, in the first match, Chris, $10,000 are available for the perfect game. And once again, the championships match, it's $1 million for a perfect game. Dickinson starts with a pretty good shot, conservative, as you expect from him. He's always been a conservative, kind of a stoic type player, very cerebral on the lanes.
Won the 1994 challenge match. Now, a look at Dale Eagle, the Marine Vietnam veteran, wounded veteran. Finished in the top spot among the 16 great seniors, Nelson.
Shot a 300 in the 14th game of the 16-game qualifier.
Oh, no.
solid 8 on his first shot. It's the way he wanted to throw it. Dale, who has just developed his game through the years, has a nice 5-step delivery. Look at how squared up the shoulders, and look at this arm swing. That's how you become a good player for a long period of time. It was a Farmer full roller where he rolled the ball between the thumb and fingers and has switched to the semi-roller, and that's made him a champion.
Okay. It's an all-even match through the first frame.
Chris, as you said earlier, Dale in the Marine Corps in Vietnam was wounded by a landmine in the right elbow, and it almost ended his bowling career. He's got a pretty good scar on the inside of his elbow. He says it has no effect as he got older on his bowling game, and is actually, I believe, a better bowler now than when I first met him some 35 years ago.
Terrific competitor, tough as nails.
A little loosening up of that arm swing, something that Carmen Salvino made famous back in the 60s.
Come on, ball. Hook back, hook back. Come on. Yes, baby! Yes! Evan Stevens, got it!
Oh, he'll play to the crowd. He's a great showman.
Well, this is an opportunity the players in my age group, guys like Dickinson, the Eagle, Earl Anthony, all the great ones that were here, did not have in our heyday, the arena bowling.
All right, all even after 2 matches here. And I'm so impressed, Nelson, with the Civic Center. It's just a great facility.
Well, Bill Morris and his crew have done a terrific job, and it proves to be a wonderful setup, and the people in Tampa are so enthusiastic about their bowling.
They have a lot of major sports going for them in this city. All right, a nice double by Gary Dickinson, the PBA Hall of Fame in 1988. Now back to Dale Eagle. Strike up, 3rd frame. Uses nearly the full approach. Nelson, he seems more disciplined than the national tour days.
Well, as we all say, we grow up a little bit, but Dale was discovered by the late Billy Whaley, your partner up here in the announce booth for so many years, Chris, down in Houston, Texas. And Billy backed him on the tour, thought he had great potential. And then the Vietnam War kind of shortcutted his potential in the PBA Tour. Obviously recovered from that and seeing tremendous days as a senior player.
For 3 in a row. Opened with a spare. Oh, another 8-pin on that pesky left link.
Well, you can't do any more than Dale has done in the first 4 frames. He left a solid 8, came back with a double and another solid 8. That's just real bad luck. Obviously a pretty easy spare, but with a competitor like Dickinson up there with a double looking in your face, you want to carry every shot. 1-game match. They don't have to bowl 4 games like we have in the regular tour in a championship round.
Stuck a little bit at the line, but very successful. None the same. We're in our first game and 1 pin separating these two. All right, we've got things rolling inside at the Florida Open. That's J.T. Curtis and the Silver Eagle Band, and things are on a roll outside this beautiful spring day. Well, if you're a fan of country rock, none better than J.T. Curtis and the Silver Eagle Band that'll be playing during commercials here at the Convention Center. Bo, they're great.
Yeah, Chris, they've entertained it. We have a sellout crowd here today, and a great opening match. The 2 veterans going right at it. It's nip and tuck, and you know, you can look at the 2 fellows out there. Dickinson has a greater record, but I think in a 1-game match, the Eagle gets pumped up, so we're ready to go. They're going for frame 5.
Between 3,500 and 4,000 fans showing their appreciation. Here's Gary now. All but the 7th pin as he was going for 3 in a row in this tight game.
Both
Seniors at it.
Both these veterans, Chris, shot a lot of spares in their days. When they learned to bowl in the 60s, scores weren't as high as they are today with the bowling balls and pins and lanes we have today. So both of them have excellent spare technique, and this match will be even when Dickinson converts his 7. But he slid right by it. I put the jinx on him again.
Well,
and I'll tell you what this is a residue of. When they bowled at the bowling center at Crown's Lanes, the lanes were much drier, and the players were depending on a lot of hook over in the left-hand corner. Today, they're much tighter in the arena here. Dickinson didn't practice enough shots over in the left corner and pays the penalty.
oh, and then is faced with the 2-8-10 Nelson.
Gary, over the years, Chris, has always been a methodical bowler and a momentum player. You bowl him a lot of games, he'll grind you down. In a one-game match, his record has always been a little bit suspect. He misses that 7-pin as Kathleen looks on, and then he gets a little bit upset, makes a mistake, leaves the 2-8-10.
So left 2 pins now, and it's back-to-back opens, which can be disastrous because in bowling, there's no way you can make up for errors. Unlike golf and other sports.
Now watch the eagle. He'll jump right on this. This is he's just loving every minute of this.
Dale Eagle. Next Saturday at 3, 2 Central on ABC's Professional Bowlers Tour, it's the Greater Sebring Open. That's next Saturday here in Florida at 3, 2 Central on ABC.
Can take it. You can hear him talking, make a good shot.
At the line, he usually quakes his knees when he feels that he's going to hit the pocket. And he just did it twice.
Dickinson must regroup. Still has a potential 235. Nice high-scoring lanes out here today. The scores are out there. Just make some good shots. Still 5 frames left.
So in the 6th frame of our first match, the senior roll-off, to determine the man that will go into the challenge match, the winner of this game will get $7,500. But then in the challenge match, it's a winner-take-all, $25,000.
And the seniors or the veterans are 3 wins against 2 losses against the national players. So that will be our final match. Right now, Dickinson trailing by 34 can cut the lead to 24, 7th frame.
So we have a 3-pin on the left lane for Gary Dickinson.
Gary Dickinson trying to go right straight down about the first arrow, or what we call the 5th board on these synthetic lanes today, and pulls it left. The target breaks up the 3, 9, 10, has an easy spare.
Likeable Gary Dickinson, and there's J.T. Curtis going to work. The link between St. Petersburg and Manatee counties is this beautifully designed Sunshine Skyway. First time in the convention center for the Florida Open in Tampa. Capacity crowd in this configuration, and Dale Eagle is leading by 34 pins. He finished first among 16 seniors in a roll-off, head-to-head matches. And now he has a double working, 7th frame. High hit and couldn't trip the 4. It's the wobbly 4. We're in Tampa, as we indicated. This is the home to one of the country's largest shrimp boat fleets, and some of the largest shrimp. And I love that. So a spare in the 7th frame, and here's Nelson Burton Jr.
Thank you, Chris. With me, 2 of the greatest bowlers of the past 15, 20 years, but you guys are good friends also. But $1 million, Peter, where does friendship end? Anywhere along the line, that money figure?
Me and Brian do a lot of things together, but I'll tell you what, when we step on that approach about 50 feet away, he's not my buddy anymore.
Hey, Beef, I've noticed that for the big tournaments, when they pay $50,000 or more first, you're always there. The little ones, you kind of lag back in the field. But is that something you consciously do?
Well, not only that, but the arena finals. I mean, this is what we're here for. This is bowling at its best. You know, I like to show off, and I know Pete does too.
Two of the best, Chris. They're in the next match, the first one to determine the championship. Back to you.
Brian Voss wins the tan competition. What a tan. All right, Dale Eagle now has to shoot a little bit to the left of center at the 10 pin on the left lane. And he, too, now has missed a single spare. Let's take a look at that and see just how close that ball came to the lone pin. Well, not that close.
Well, Chris, that was just complete pull. He was probably going off of Gary Dickinson sliding by the 7, said, hey, there's a lot of oil in the center. I better try to slide it in there. It didn't work.
Oh, and the 4 pin is tripped. Our old colleague up there in heaven, Billy Whaley, is smiling. He loved the tripping of the 4.
Well, watch this. The 5 pin goes right by the 4. The 2 goes around it, and it just bumps right back into the 4 pin. An unusual shot in days gone by, but today's modern bowling balls, they really incite those pins. So now, Gary Dickinson has a chance to get right back in the match. Strike here in the 9th. He'd only trail by 11.
Gary Dickinson with 8 National Tour victories, 4 on the Senior Tour. He's been a member of the PBA for 28 years. 3 National Tour titles, 1 on the Senior Tour, Dale Eagle. Remember, that was a pressure shot that came after an open 9th frame.
Well, Dale has been in the pocket all 9 shots. He went solid 8 double, solid 8 double, 4 pin, 10 pin, misses it. He needs 2 strikes right here to shut out Gary Dickinson as his wife, Jean Glenn, looks on. Now, Dale is pretty conventional. He's right here, a good slide. You'll see him get a loft on the ball right out to here, approaching this area, and then the ball trajectory right around the edge out to the first board. Needs 2 strikes to lock out Dickinson.
That's better. That's better. Yes. Yes. That's better, Bo.
Dale with his wireless. Kept that, the great shots are right on the channel line, Nelson. They're just hanging there, aren't they?
Well, that's the oil pattern, Chris. These guys can play anywhere on the lane. You know, in theory, there's 7 arrows or feathers, whatever you like to call out there. The lane is 42 inches wide, but the best oil pattern to the pocket, best carrying angle right now is down the edge board. And 1 more strike, Dale Eagle would go into the challenge match, the final match today.
That's good. That's good. Oh, man.
Chris, that sets up a possibility of a tie. If Dale makes this spare, he'll have 215. That would Gary Dickinson have 3 strikes in the 10th. They would tie at 215. They'd have a 2-frame sudden death roll-off.
All right. Just 50 years old. Dickinson is 54. He nailed it for a 215. Now Gary goes to work.
Needs all 3 strikes to tie.
That's a big order, Bo, isn't it?
Well, if you haven't been in arenas, and I think as you get a little bit older, it may get a little tougher, but he may appreciate the moment, and I know he'll throw a good shot. Solid 10. My, oh my, what a bad break.
Plagued. So he'll get $5,000. As I told you, he had won another challenge match in '94 against Norm Duke. So now it'll be Dale Eagle that'll be a chance for more money. Okay, this ABC Sports presentation, the Professional Bowlers Tour, will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. This is Arena Bowen, specially installed head-in lanes for the finals of the Florida Open. A Dale Eagle, the senior, won the roll-off over Gary Dickinson, 215 to 182. He had 6 strikes. Now, hold on to the semifinal match of the National Tour, people. Player of the Year 1988, Brian Voss. Pete Weber today could hit the 2 million mark and lead in that money battle. And, Bo, it could easily happen, and they're using thrilling shots, these two.
You're right, Chris, and you'll see a major difference here between the veteran players we just saw. These players will play a much bigger hook ball, much more power, and obviously they're younger, but they're tuned into the style. We have the 4, 3, and 2 ranked bowlers in the world going in the next 2 matches. Here we go.
All right, Pete Weber, 34. He's on the right. Brian Voss is 38 years old. Pete with 22 national titles, 29 regional. And, of course, he is the son of the Hall of Famer, Dick Weber, and Juanita, watching back home in Missouri. Well, we get another 10.
See a little different technique on Pete Weber. Not only his strike ball, he's playing that outside line, much bigger hook, but watch him. He'll just wind up and just sling it right straight across the lane. He'll throw it hard and straight.
Spare for Pete Weber. That is not what he wanted, because he knows he's against another all-time competitor, Brian Voss. 38, you see, he has 17 PBA titles. Not the shot he wanted.
Terrible.
Well, he just amped up on that shot, Chris. He just went to too much power. You get that adrenaline flowing, and he actually had at one time the 3-4-7-10 standing up. Leaves the 3-10 baby split. Get the ball to the right of the 3-pin and let it deflect into the 10.
Help!
A little too much to the left. So Pete was upset with a spare, but Brian has an open frame. In this, the semifinal.
You know, I think they can actually get amped up too much. They're just thrilled to bowl out here. Brian, who made a terrific charge last night in the final 8 games of the 42 games of the tournament, has got here early. He has been full of energy. Just calm down and stroke the ball.
Brian Voss. An all-Army champion in Germany. Lived in the state of Washington for many years, but he and Andrea and their 2 sons live in Atlanta now. Pete getting his routine together, using the full approach, the heels right back on the carpet. That's more like it. Tonight on ABC, it's a brand new night, beginning with the Lex Files trilogy on Lois and Clark. Then, 2 new series that are changing the face of Saturday night TV. Leaving L.A. and Robert Altman's Gun, with tonight's show starring Martin Sheen and Nancy Travis. Saturday nights are special on ABC, and so are Saturday afternoons with the PBA. Didn't come up, and Pedro Weber has left the 2-4 and the sleeper 8. So this will be an interesting test, one that he's passed successfully many, many times. This is the semifinal match. The winner will meet Parker Bohn III for the Florida Open title, then the challenge match. All right. Okay, here's Nelson.
Hey, thank you, Chris. Gary, pretty good. Just one bad shot cost you the match.
Yeah, I really threw one really bad shot, and then I also missed an easy spare. Between the 2, they cost me the show, you know, but I thought I had a good reaction. I made pretty good shots overall.
Hey, when's your senior tour start back up?
Late June, early July. We're on ESPN starting then.
Are you guys easy enough for me to get out there, or are you too tough?
No, Bo, you stay home. You both too good.
Thanks for the compliment. Back to you, Chris.
Brian was hoping for a double. Here's a shot of that pin. Looks easy, doesn't it? Under pressure, it's something else. Good follow through and technique. Brian Voss.
I think we're going to see one thing that's a little bit different here, and the player that wins this match gets settled down, or even in the middle matches. They were playing a much bigger hook all week long, as the lane surface at Crown Lanes allowed for that. Now, this arena, the lanes are brand new, and they hold the oil pattern a little better, so these guys are having to go a little straighter down and not quite carrying like they did all week long.
Winner of the Northwest Classic here in 1997. We're going to take a short break, and it's another tight match, as this week we leap back in time more than 2 decades with a Tournament of Champions flashback. With seniors playing an important role in today's telecast, it seems appropriate that we dig deep into our archives for this week's trip down memory lane. It was 22 years ago today that Hall of Famer Dave Davis won the second of his 2 Tournament of Champions titles. In all, he won 18 career titles.
The Greater Sebring Open, nothing but strikes. Next Saturday on ABC.
Leto Monticelli, he's in the audience. He bowled this week, didn't get to the top spot. There's some of the 4,000 looking on, surrounding this pair of lanes that is the championship pair. Practice pair to the left. Pete Weber gets his second strike of this match. Here's Bo Burton.
Thank you, Chris. With me, the tournament leader, Parker. How do you feel today, pal?
Hey, winning never gets old. I'm ready to do it again.
It's been a month, so you're ready to win again?
I think 4 weeks is long enough. I'm going to get on the doorstep and let's go knock them over.
All right, thought. $50,000 to win a tournament, but $1 million for a perfect game. What's on your mind? Which one?
The first thing I want to do is win the title. At the end of the rainbow, if there's 12 strikes, well, I guess I'll collect $1 million.
All right, Chris, he bowled $299 just a month ago. Let's see what happens. Back to you.
All right, Pete Weber now has just doubled, and he takes a 21-pin lead over Brian Voss. Voss has his strike up, however, and now is about to shoot in the 5th frame. So that double cuts Weber's lead to 11. So with another strike, 1 pin will separate these 2 great champions.
Hey, Chris, yeah. I got to look down there. Look at Brian's 2 kids just off the lane of lane 1. They're down there playing with a toy on the ground. Their dad's out there trying to make $1 million. Hey, boy.
Joshua and Cameron.
Yeah, 2 sweet boys. They've been on that tour 2 weeks with their dad. They were up in New York at that Sports Plus arena. They loved every bit of that, and they enjoy watching their dad, who can cut the lead of Weber's down to 1 pin here in the 6th.
Nearly making a left turn, a 90-degree turn to hit the pocket.
Well, just as good a style as you'll ever see. Brian Voss has made himself a great champion. And so this young man started much before Brian. This fellow started bowling when he was 2 years old. I remember when his daddy, Dick, used to take him to tournaments, and Peter just sling it down the gutter.
Did you see how close that ball was to the channel? You don't think bowlers have courage?
Well, it's high risk, high reward. I'll tell you what, we've seen a few of them slip off in the moat so far this year. We had one, or in fact, 2 of them, Brian Voss being one of the players when Rick Steelsmith won the PBA National just 3 weeks ago. Weber to restate his lead of 21 pins, 7th frame, if he can make it 4 in a row.
as can be, but relaxed enough to string them. Birds of a feather flock together as J.T. Curtis goes to work. These birds, well, their destination probably back north. We are live at the Tampa Convention Center for the finals of the Florida Open. We're in our semifinal match between Brian Voss, 17-time champion, his opponent Pete Weber, who's won 22.
Voss trails by 21 pins. Seventh frame can cut Weber's lead to 11 with a strike.
Do the players love arena bowling, Nelson, or not?
It's the only way to go, Chris. It's just wonderful, and they really play the crowd. They get amped up. Voss won his last 9 matches, as you see Mrs. Weber. Tracy sitting right behind Peter. Peter trying to figure out what he's got to do. Can he keep his lead over Voss? As I said, Voss won his last 9 matches at Crown Bowl to qualify in the #2 position.
Oh, get lucky!
I think it stuck a little on his thumb. Lofted way out on the lane. Yeah, he's doing
sweat.
his hand.
Too much sweat.
So unusual. Brian Voss double dribbles the ball, almost gets it back with that golden arm swing. He absolutely almost gets it back, but what he needs to do is get the ball to the left of the 2-pin, drive the 2 into the 10. But I think the concern, Chris, is how's that ball feel? Well, he changed balls for the spare, so hopefully that feels better, but that is not fun.
So for Brian Voss, he opened with an open frame, chopping the 3 off the 10, and now is down by 25. And there's Andrea, mother of Joshua and Cameron. Wonderful Hoosier.
They now reside in Atlanta, and they know that Pete Weber has their daddy on the ropes. Pete could open up a 35-pin lead.
He has strung 5. Coming up next on ABC's Wide World of Sports, you'll see the Valvoline Professional Boxing Series featuring a 10-round bout with undefeated Michael Grant versus Lionel Butler. Also featuring a 10-round, get this, women's bout between Yvonne Trevino versus Brenda Roos. Then on Wide World Classic, it's the 1964 All-American Soapbox Derby. Next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Like that women's boxing. Christy Martin's my favorite.
Pete Weber now has strung 6 in the 9th.
Well, Pete Weber just got a huge break, Chris. As you saw him swinging out and were so perceptible seeing near the gutter, he pulls that ball straight down the first arrow and it still ends up in the pocket. That is almost unbelievable. That is a key shot.
Too late. Too late.
T-shirts, $1,000 after this match.
Winner moves up to the championship match for the Florida Open title worth $50,000.
Kind of getting out of the way, folks.
One bad shot has put Voss in trouble.
He's now doubled at the end.
Potential 225, but it's going to be too late. The one bad shot for Voss in the 8th frame on the double dribble. Weber on the same lane pulls the ball inside the target, and it sets up perfect for him. Look out for Peter in the championship match.
Brown seated first in the PBA National,
I'm gonna make you show
22nd. He won in Richmond, Washington.
Try and throw it to about the first board on you.
He's getting ready for $1 million.
Closes with 4 and shoots at 225.
Pete Weber just needs to keep it on the lane, and he'll go against Parker Bohn. That's enough. That's a winner for Weber. He'll get a whack at the $50,000 and $1 million for a perfect game.
Great friends. My colleague, Nelson Burton, is the featured advisor today on the bowling tip of the week.
All lane conditions are not equal in scoring potential. Today's bowling tip will show you how to adjust your arm swing to match various lane conditions. Just as a golfer may forego his driver on a particularly tight fairway and hit an iron off a tee, a bowler must make that same kind of adjustment. When lanes open up and you have 4 or 5 boards to hit, by all means, let that arm swing be nice and long, let that wrist snap through the shot, and that maximizes your scoring potential on that type of lane. However, when they get tough or particularly slick, you want to shorten the push away, shorten that arm swing, and concentrate on accuracy, not power. This way, you're not fighting the lane. Take whatever it gives you. When the lane opens up, by all means, you can kill them. So what happens? Basically, when the lanes are easy, long arm swing for power. When they get tough, shorten that arm swing up, and you'll maximize your scoring potential.
Okay, we're back again, and this is the way the action has been thus far. 215 to 182. Eagle, the senior, getting into the challenge match at the end of our telecast. And Pete Weber with 8 strikes, 249 to Brian Voss's 225. Weber now in the championship match against Parker Bohn as these young fellas holding a check for $1 million. If we get it in this match coming up, if there is a perfect 300 game, either Parker Bohn the second or Pete Weber, it's $1 million, Nelson.
That ain't so bad, Chris, is it? That's a lot of bucks. Well, the bowlers bowled all week long, and last night we came down to 2 players. Mike Albee bowled against Johnny Petraglia for the 4th and 5th spot. Johnny took the measure of Albee. Then Pete Weber came in and knocked out Johnny Petraglia. Johnny receiving $10,000. As you see, 120 players went to the starting gate. Pretty strong averages this week, 223. Ryan Schaefer doing well every week. Harry Sullen's on a roll. El Hombre, Studley Bill Oakes, Oklahoma's finest there in 10th. Curtis Odom and Jimmy Davis. Steve Jaros once again. Butch Soper, our statistician. The new national champ, Rick Steelsmith. Pete Couture, he got to bowl 58 games. He bowled 42 with the regular players and 16 with the seniors.
Okay, the top 24. It's a tough competition, as it'll be next week at the Greater Sebring Open. It's April 26th at 3 Eastern, a week from today. Now, note the date, March 10th, for the Johnny Petraglia Open. We have a week off, and May 10th is 3 weeks from now. That'll be a great event. Johnny Petraglia is the host. So here we go with the championship match for the Florida Open title. $50,000 to the winner. And the opportunity to make a lot more if you can put 12 in a row. 26 to the runner-up in this one game. Parker Bohn, top seed in the tournament, shoots first. Oh, my heavens. 3, 6, 7, 9. Here's a test of skill. You got that sleeper 9 back there. But how do you get a pin over to take out the 7? Let's see what Parker, how he shoots it. So for Parker, the tournament leader, it's an 8 in the first frame. Now Pete Weber, who won the previous match over Brian Voss, 249 to 235 with 8 strikes. Remember, he had to roll 2 matches in a roll-off against Mike Albee and Johnny Petraglia to get into the spot, the 3rd spot, number 3. Well, there's one, Bo.
Thank you, Chris. I'm with one of the greatest bowlers that ever lived, and you guys got your 2 young boys here, Joshua and Cameron. Hey, Joshua, what did Daddy do wrong there?
play games.
He didn't win the game. He wants to go play games. Beef, one bad shot.
It's hot out there. You know, I just slipped off my thumb. Just, got to squeeze a little bit. I'm real happy. It was a real good root. I want to see 300 right now, though.
Okay, pal. He's rooting for somebody out there right now. Chris, back to you.
Pete Weber is 10 away. Number 2. First time ever in the history of bowling, if we get a 300 in this game, the championship game, $1 million. Left a 6-pin, Parker Bohn. Ranked number 2 among all the PBA players. Has 2 wins here in '97. Back-to-back, the AC Delco and the Showboat.
Chris, as we watch Parker here, there's 2 disadvantages I see in this championship match. Obviously, he's bowled well all week to lead the pack. But number 1, Pete Weber's already won a game, gotten used to the arena, the adrenaline. And number 2, there's been all right-handers bowling today, and they've carried the oil down the lane. And so the right-handers have a little bit more of a hold area. What Parker's trying to do is swing out in here, but he doesn't have any oil to help him set that ball up in the pocket. You see, so he has to go way around, and that's a complete disadvantage. And honestly, of course, that's the draw of the game is sometimes the lefties have an edge, sometimes they don't. But right now, Parker doesn't have the luxury of a little hold spot like Pete Weber does. And at this level, that's a tremendous advantage. Parker really has his work cut out for him. Breaks up the 3-9, has an easy spare.
All right, bowling against red-hot Pete Weber, who had 8 strikes in his last victory, and now has 2 in a row, shooting in the 3rd frame.
Pete Weber bowled his first perfect game at age 14, his first league game ever.
A little scary with that 9-pin. 3.
Regardless of what happens in this match, $1 million, win or lose, he takes over the all-time leading money winner from Walter Ray Williams Jr. He'll be pushing that $2 million mark, even if he doesn't get the perfect game.
He trailed Walter Ray by only 13,205. All right, now we've got to the point of 4 in a row, 8 to go. The joint is jumping, and Florida is surrounded by waterways, as we all know, I'm sure, even man-made canals, which provide easy passage for boaters.
Tampa, we want to see those strike cards every time.
The Florida Open, stage indoors at the Convention Center in Tampa. Capacity crowd now watches the tournament leader, Parker Bohn, who got off very wobbly, trailing Pete Weber by 43, has a spare up, shooting in the 4th frame. And again, this time a 6-pin. He's the only left-hander in our field. So let's see how okay, very good. Okay, Nelson.
Hey, Chris, Dale, I've known you for a lot of years, and nobody ever intimidates you, but you got to bowl one of these guys for 25 grand. Does it bother you to bowl a young guy with all that power?
No, Bo, I'm just going to take and do it one at a time and take one shot at a time and see what I can do. I'm not going to really be thinking about the other bowler after all these years. You know, you and I used to lock up bowling centers together in El Paso back in 1970. We know. You got to just get into it.
All right, pal. Good luck in the final match. Back to you, Chris.
Pete Weber now, or rather Parker Bohn, just got his first strike in the 5th frame. For his fans, that's a plus, but Pete Weber has 4 in a row, and
Well, the old-timers used to call it a Vera Papa 300, Chris, when you'd finish one game with an X amount of strikes and get 12 in a row. But unfortunately, $1 million is only paid for the 12 strikes in one game. Peter's only 7 away. He's got to be thinking about it now.
Yes. 6th frame. He is halfway there.
Here comes the bird dog. Watch the head pin as it comes back across the lane and just bushwhacks the 10. He actually catches the 4. What pin action as he pumps? Leads Parker by 64.
For a double. That's it. Does a little shimmy at the line.
Parker's ranked number 2 on the PBA computer rankings, right behind Walter Ray Williams Jr.
You know, sometimes you get lost in the point of a 300 game, and I'm sure Peter's thinking about that. But Parker Bohn, one of the great bowlers on the PBA Tour, can still bowl 246. Weber only going at a 249 pace. So if Parker can keep striking, he can squeeze Peter a little bit.
Three-bagger for Parker Bohn III. 13 total titles in a 13-year PBA career. Ranked second. This is his 55th telecast as we look at Tracy Weber, as her husband is in his 81st telecast. And Nelson and I have both known him since birth.
That is true. He's number 1 in money. His dad was number 1 before him.
Now that's number 7. 5 to go.
Chris, the last time I saw this much excitement when they put up a bonus, Johnny Petraglia and Earl Anthony went at it in 1977. Johnny started with the first 4, got tapped. Earl Anthony had the first 6. There was $250,000 at stake in that particular 300 bonus. I never thought it'd ever come to $1 million. Peter's only 5 shots away.
This is the 8th frame.
Peter puts it in the 1-3, but he just doesn't get the break as that 3-pound, 6-ounce pin comes across and by maybe a 1/4 of an inch misses the 10. Now he's got to think match. This is still $50,000 at stake.
And a chance for another 25. Okay. Lots of money at stake here at Convention Center, and we'll return in a moment.
I've got some good old love.
Oh boy, we're back at Convention Center. Parker Bohn trailing, but there is some news in the match.
Well, Chris, we've been informed by the PBA that Pete Weber has been warned twice and fined $100 for violating the 25-set shot clock, and then once again, the second time, $1,000. If he does it again, it'll be another $1,000.
Well, Parker Bohn now has strung 4. Pete is really upset that he didn't get beyond the 7th with strikes.
Well, I think, you know, that's part of arena bowling. That's part of the $1 million. There's a lot of noise in here. He has to think about the match. You know, even if he's been fined $1,100, big deal. He's got a chance to win $75,000, 50 for this match and 25 in the challenge. So that's just a secondary part. I'm sure he's not even thinking about that. He's thinking about Parker Bohn, who now is back in the match. He throws a strike here. Pete Weber is not a lock. There's the title for Peter right there.
Oh, yeah. And Peter knew it. He did a 180 turn and looked at his wife, Tracy, right there.
Parker just trusts the ball. We say trust is a must or your game is a bust. Well, it actually, trust killed him on this one. He probably could have pulled it just a pinch, but he gets the 3.79 open frame. The title is Weber's. It's going to be Pete with a big championship game and $50,000, and he'll go into the challenge.
Okay. Put together 7 in a row, hoping to make it 12 for the $1 million bonus. But he's going to get $50,000 for this game and goes into the challenge against Dale Eagle, where winner takes all, 25 grand. Pete wins his second tournament of the year, having won in Tucson early.
Peter just finishing the match out. Spare here, and a strike would be 257. The best Parker could bowl is 209. Peter somewhat relieved maybe, but once the adrenaline's gone, he's not striking at all. Let's see what he can get his act back together against the veteran Dale Eagle.
All right, this ABC Sports presentation of the Professional Bowlers Tour will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC sponsors. Three matches, 1 to go. Senior roll-off, Dale Eagle defeating Dickinson. He'll be in that challenge match against Pete Weber, who won the Florida Open and a $50,000 first prize. Pete with 8 strikes in the championship game, and in the semifinal, 8 strikes against Brian Voss. So, Nelson, I guess the most exciting arena bowling that we've had thus far, because of the nature of the building, the crowd, and 7 strikes toward $1 million.
Oh, I agree, Chris. You can't forget Bob Horn's experience in Erie a couple years ago, but going to this challenge match here at the end, you got to look at the senior players are actually 3 wins against 2 losses. They've defeated the national players, and they've out-averaged them 234 to 226 over the past 5 years. Well, let's see what Pete Weber can do against Dale Eagle.
Okay, tomorrow night on ABC, an hour of America's Funniest Home Videos, followed by a special edition of Primetime Live. Then Sylvester Stallone, Kurt Russell, and Lois and Clark's Terry Hatcher are ready for action in Tango and Cash on the Sunday night movie tomorrow night on ABC. Now we're ready for the challenge match. $25,000, winner take all. Pete Weber shooting first. He is a Florida Open champion. Pete's 7th appearance on ABC Sports. Correction, 6th. The first one, his first victory was in the Tucson Open. And ESPN, our sister network, covered that. We're all even after a frame.
I know the Eagle's always talking to me. There's a guy I bowled a ton of games with, Chris, and he'll be talking to Pete Weber too. He's a competitor. He's a very fair man, but he cut his teeth on match game bowling, back action bowling, almost before the PBA started. So this is a little different from him, but for him, but he knows how to win, and he'll give Peter a run for his money. 25,000's worth.
Come on, baby. Hook back. Stop. Oh, man.
I had leaving a 6-10.
Hold it.
All right, you can see what the crowd sees. Dale Eagle on lane 3. Cuts through the heart, almost leads to 6, 7, 10. Cross lane for the spare.
Beautifully done. There's a 16-year age difference here between Pete Weber, as you're looking at a shot that we see. Okay. Tomorrow at 5 Eastern, 4 Central Pacific, A Passion to Play probes the issues surrounding women's boxing and looks at the dangers in the ring. Tomorrow at 5 Eastern, 4 Central, and Pacific. passion to play, and this man has it. Look at that. He had 8 strikes in his first victory, 8 again, and now he's opened with 3 in a row. Dale Eagle. Strike spare, 3rd frame. Okay, Bo.
Thank you, Chris. With me, our tournament leader who ended up finishing second, Parker. Obviously, you bowled against a great champion, Peter, but it looked like that he really had the edge from the get-go.
Yeah, he actually come out of the gate striking really good, and obviously I was a little lost there in the beginning, and when I finally got on track, well, he just kept going and pulled away from me, so.
You feel the edge was because there are so many right-handed bowlers kind of set up a good shot on the right and made it a little tougher for the lefty today? You know, it goes both ways.
Yeah, it really does, but a couple of weeks ago I was the only left-hander, and I found my own shot, and I kept it. So today's today, but tomorrow will be tomorrow. I'll be back.
You can see why he wins the Steve Nagy Award, Chris. Back to you.
All right. Dale Eagle keeping some pressure on Weber, who has 3 in a row, and the Charlie Curtis Silver Eagle Band. You know, in the shade of a palm tree lurks today's Florida Open trophy, which we hope we have a chance to present to Pete Weber. That's a wonderful outside shot of Tampa Convention Center. We're inside today since 3 Eastern time. We've gone through some tremendously competitive matches. Now we're in a winner-take-all challenge match between the senior winner today, Dale Eagle, and the Florida Open champion, Pete Weber, who has 3 in a row, 4th frame. Well, he can practice the 310.
Chris, if there's one thing that Peter has trouble with in his whole career is throwing the ball a little bit too slow. Here he throws it too slow, but now he has a 310 spare or split and needs to get the ball to the right of the 3-pin, deflect into the 10. He'll straighten it out for that shot. No problem.
That's the way his dad, Dick, did it for so many years. Bo, Tampa has some memories for you.
Well, Chris, in 1979, we bowled at the Fairgrounds, which is not far from here, and my brother and I won the National American Bowling Congress doubles, and I snuck the all-events title in, and even got a 300 game back then, but it was worth maybe about $500, not $1 million.
Pete Weber now has 5 in a row again. That is his, let's see, his 21st, wait a minute, 24th strike. Can't add. Make it 23. 18 in the first 2.
Hello.
You're a money man, is that right, Bo? Addition?
That's absolutely perfect.
Okay.
Right now, Eagle can take the lead in the 5th with a strike.
Good shot there, Bo. Yes, all right, Bo.
Dale won 7,500 in the first match today against Gary Dickinson.
That's all our years of friendship.
Oh, he's talking. Pete's got to hear it.
He's just talking to me, Chris. Nice shot, Bo. There's his wife, Jean Glenn. Yeah, the Eagle is a fun guy. Flying high right now. Can take a lead of 12 pins over to man, Pete Weber.
That's good right there. Yeah, baby! Yeah, baby! Yeah! Yeah!
I don't think Peter's used to bowling against anybody this loose and having so much fun. A little Carmen Salvino in that one.
Oh, and now Pete does a hula. And Tracy.
Well, Peter likes this shot, and he does a little bit of the twist there. Now, Peter, he won't throw his hip out. Dale, he gets too strong at that, might have a little problem. Back and forth, Peter can retake the lead with a strike. 7th frame.
Now there's the way to trip the 4. Sneak up on it.
couple of unusual trip fours, Chris. Here, let's see where it comes from. It's probably, who knows where that. Looks like the 3-pin somehow hit into the 9 and came forward. So nothing bothers the Eagle. He resets, gets going.
Okay, take it.
Come on. Oh, man. I threw that one great, too.
Little 10-pin there. Dale, on the senior tour, has a little side business going, photographing Pro-Am winners, et cetera, et cetera.
Right, Chris. He often does it on the regular tour, and he just told me he did a wonderful wedding, so he's really in the photography business. His wife, Jean, helps him out with that, and obviously still enjoying his bowling and making some pretty good bucks at it.
Never looked better than he is here in 1997.
Agreed.
We've seen him at all stages of his life, haven't we, Bo?
You bet, partner. Senior tour gave him new life. I mean, it's something to look forward to.
Oh, man. I hit the oil.
And I think you can see that with all the seniors. Earl Anthony's back out there. We saw Gary Mage. Look at the list of great players that bowled here. Avery LeBlanc, we've enjoyed for years. It goes right on down the line. Larry Lobb, John Handegard. If you haven't seen the seniors tour, it's a little different than the power players out here, but some real superstars.
That's them both. That was an 8th frame spare. Pete, leading by 11 pins, can increase it to 21 with a strike here in the 8th.
Well, Chris, Peter's been high, and he gets a break.
All right. Here you see the average leader, and look at that, 224.2, followed by Walter Ray, and that's how they're going to be in the money earned too. And then Parker, our tournament leader, and Amleto Monticelli with Ricky Ward, a Floridian. Next week we'll be in Sebring, and Bo and I may have a half-hour Grand Prix on the course there. Tracy?
Tracy's saying, Peter, pay attention here. Another $25,000 at stake, even though you got $50,000 in the bank. The Eagle, a potential 247. Pete Weber going at a 237 pace. The defining frames coming up.
So here we go again, right down to that final frame.
Dale, a solid player, always on the regular tour. Chris, I felt like probably his best quality as a person was he's dependable, but he's also dependable in the clutch. When you gave him a little bit of room, he usually threw a strike. He's in that position right now to put some pressure on Weber for the 25 grand. 10th frame.
Bill Morris, the tournament chairman, having done such a great job, along with Keith Roper, a modern display, and our own PBA people, personnel. They were terrific here, as they are week in and week out.
Dale Eagle to take the lead. He can't shut out Peter. Peter still has a potential 257. Dale 240 if he strikes on this ball. Chris, I gotta laugh. I just know the guy, but he threw that ball for the wheat just as well as he did 20 years ago. Right now, if he strikes again, he'll force Peter to strike twice. If he gets 9, Peter can strike and get 9. We could have a tie here for the challenge.
What a big game for the 50-year-old Dale Eagle.
Now, Pete Weber, Nelson.
Chris, he needs a strike on this ball and a strike on the next ball to win. Strike, 9 spare. We have a tie at 246. We haven't had a tie all year, but this one is mandatory.
That's the Pete Weber. Will go down as one of the great champions all time.
You see the difference in ages as they respond to that strike. Dale, he kind of laughs and looks up to the ceiling, and Peter knows that 25,000 more in the bank will gain a lot of interest over the years. Needs a strike to win. If he gets 8, he loses. 9 spare, they have a tie. 2-frame roll-off.
This was a winner-take-all match, remember? Tracy with a tier or 2. Pete with another 25 to go with his 50. So it's been a good day
For Pete Weber.
It's been good for all of us, and we hope good for all of you here in this temperate Tampa climate. All the excitement in the world right down on the approaches now, as it's 256 to 246. Only 10 pins separating these two from 2 decades. All right, we will be back. Here we are. Bo?
Idol number 23 and $75,000. You're with the winner, pal.
Okay. Bill Morris, the greatest of those tournament chairmen we've seen in 36 years. Congratulations. We've known him since birth. Bo and I both rocked him. And 75 grand, how do you feel?
I don't know if there's any words that can describe how I feel. Man, this is the best. I'd like to thank Comfort Inns, Bill Morris. Winning definitely never gets old because it only gets better.
Tracy, what's your comment?
I'm sorry?
What is your comment about today's performance?
I'm very happy for Pete. He's worked very hard, and he deserves it.
Oh. All right, here's Bill Morris with some money.
Pete, congratulations. We asked for a show, and that's exactly what we have. So here's a great big check for $50,000.
I'll hold the mic.
And another check, a double payday for $25,000.
All right, let's hear it for Dale Eagle, who's standing over here. Dale, take a bow. And now, hey, Pete, here's your second chance. Well, it's goodbye, but he gets an Eagle trophy. The last time he did, he dropped it. So long, ladies and gentlemen.